Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine, and today I'm taking it outside. I needed to get some fresh air and get moving outside. So I'm gonna go for a hike and do some exercises while I go. So I'll share them with you as I go. Push-ups are easy to do many different places. I'm gonna use this rock and lower myself down. They're just like countertop push-ups. Obviously you can do them on the ground anywhere, or if you can find a park bench, you can use the bench part for a little lower or the back part for a little easier range of motion. Tubby's here to help me on my hike. So let's do 10 push-ups. All right, good job. Lots of times when I'm out for a walk, I do walking lunges. So along the trail that I'm going, I just continue to do walking lunges. You have to be careful when you're doing these to make sure that when you do a lunge, you keep a 90-degree angle in both legs. So when you're walking forward, you have to be sure to really sit down into it. Keep that 90-degree bend, keep the weight in your heel as you go. One thing that I really like to do on my property when I'm out for hikes is use rocks for resistance. Generally, they have different shapes and sizes and maybe be a little bit different weight, but I like to do bicep curls and things with them. If you don't have this option, one thing you could do is if you do a loop, like around your block or in your neighborhood, you could put dumbbells, at the base of your driveway or next to a park bench or something near, your neighborhood where you know they'll be safe, or even set them on your front porch. Do a little loop, come back, do some bicep curls, keep going. I like to mix it up in between exercises just because it feels so good to be outside and moving, even if it's a little bit chilly. It's obviously very warm here today. We've had some unusually warm weather. So it just feels good to get outside no matter what. So do some bicep curls with those weights. Leave them on your front step, leave them under a bush or something on your loop and use them as you come around. I'll show you another exercise we can do next. Another important thing that's easy to incorporate into your walk is doing some side stepping. So if you've got a nice wide open area, turn and just walk sideways for a little while. You can just side step like this, and you don't have to go back and forth. I'm just going back and forth so you can see. But if you continue to make progress on your walk, just by side stepping, keep going, maybe 10, and then turn around and go 10 that way. It's really important to get those different planes of movement, especially if you're used to always walking. A lot of the things that we do are in this frontal plane here. So we want to incorporate some side stepping, and it's really easy to do in your walk. Okay, another thing you can do with those weights or those rocks that you found is some shoulder lateral raises. So this time let's do it in a tandem stance, putting one foot right in front of the other. If a tandem stance is too much, just stagger them a little bit, but we'll get a little more balance in with this exercise. We're just raising the rocks or the weights up to about shoulder height and then back down. So we don't need to do it way up here. That can be really hard and can lead to impingement. I actually recommend stopping just below your shoulder, keeping those deltoids engaged. Now, if you are using rocks or some odd-shaped object, switch after 6 or 7. I'm gonna say we'll do 15. I'm gonna switch because they're different sizes, they're different weights, and then essentially each arm gets the same weight for the entire time. Also, hanging onto odd-shaped objects can be really good for your hand strength. So hanging onto dumbbells and those squishy medicine balls is really good because they're easy to hang on to. However, hanging onto odd-shaped objects challenges our dexterity and our strength in our hands, which we can lose as we get older. So challenge yourself to hang on to different shaped objects and see how that feels. Next, I'm going to incorporate some balance as I continue to walk. Come here, Tup Tup. Come here. So I'm going to take a really large step forward and then lean forward like that, kind of like I'm in an airplane. I call these walking airplanes. Now, if you feel silly doing these outside, or if people see you remember that you're helping yourself. You're doing something that other people might think, maybe I should be doing that. They're not going to judge you, and if they are, then you don't need them anyway. But, so doing these things outside can be intimidating for people, is why I mentioned that. But you're really doing it for yourself to stay healthy, and you never know, you might motivate someone to do them with you, or to, maybe start doing something on their own because they see you doing it and they realize how important it is. So if you're able to do these walking airplanes, take a big step, tip over, and then just keep going, keep moving. Try 5 or 6 on each side, and if that feels easy, do 10 on each side. The other thing is slow it down, and then you can also take bigger steps. If you find it extremely challenging, do it by a park bench, and then you can lean over in your airplane and then use that park bench for stability. So then you can just switch legs using that park bench, or maybe even a tree or a big rock, that's in a park or something. But challenge your balance on your own. All right. Finally, we're gonna do a plank. So find an elevated surface. I'm actually on a rock, but you can do it on the floor, you can do it on the ground, you can do it on a park bench. Like I said with the push-ups, you can do it to challenge yourself a little more, do it on the bench part. To give yourself a little leeway, do it on the back part of the park bench. But there's lots of ways you can do this really great core exercise. This can be done anywhere. If you're doing all of these in your house, that's fine. Do it on the floor, do it on a coffee table, maybe even the sturdy kitchen chair. But challenge yourself. Try to hold it for 30 seconds. If you can hold it for 30 seconds, try to hold it for 35. Just keep challenging yourself. If you can only do 10 seconds, that's fine. But whatever you do, keep working towards your goals and keep moving, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend and stay safe out there.